Welcome to the Walking Dread podcast. You sent us some seriously creepy stuff this week, like two stories that really get under your skin.
Yeah,
And we've gone through it all, every last detail, to bring you the heart of what makes them so disturbing.
that's right. We're not just talking about spooky campfire stories here. These tales offer a glimpse into some pretty fundamental fears, you know?
Oh, yeah.
The first one really digs into our anxieties about the digital world and that feeling of control or lack thereof, while the second one tackles a much older primal fear that everything we think is real could just unravel.
Right. Okay, so first up, you brought this viral thing to our attention, the death lens filter.
Right.
It's that creepy idea of an app that shows you how you're going to die.
Yeah.
You sent us some fascinating stories about this, and one about a teenager named Emily really stood out. It starts with that kind of dark humor that spreads like wildfire online, right?
Absolutely. It's that morbid curiosity we all have.
Yeah.
The initial reaction, at least for Emily in the stories you shared, is skepticism.
Right.
It's easy to brush it off, like, oh, it's just a silly internet trend, a little harmless fun. But then things get weird when people start seeing things that feel really specific.
And in Emily's case, it was terrifyingly specific.
Yeah.
The car crash, the exact date, even the fact that it included her friends, that's the kind of detail that makes you stop laughing.
Yeah, exactly.
What really struck me in your notes was how this instantly changed her behavior. It wasn't just a fleeting scare. She actually did something about it.
Right.
Like it pushed her to take real-world action.
That's it. And that decision to change their plans and skip the road trip, that's the core of this whole unsettling story. It shows a very human response. We want to control our destiny, especially when we think we've been given a glimpse of a bad ending.
Oh, yeah.
But this is where things take a really dark turn, don't they?
It does. Because when Emily feels like she's outsmarted fate, she uses the filter again. And the vision changes completely. The car crash vanishes, but now it's a massive fire in her apartment building, the place she just sent her friends to, by changing their original plans.
Oh, wow.
It's that classic unintended consequences thing, but it's amplified by this bizarre digital oracle.
Right. So for you listening, this brings up a really unsettling question about fate.
Yeah.
Is the filter showing us a fixed path? Or is it showing a branching reality where dodging one bad thing just leads us to another, maybe even worse, outcome? Emily's experience really seems to suggest that second option, which is a pretty disturbing thought.
Totally. And it just spirals from there. Emily becomes convinced that she can prevent every disaster the filter shows her: a bike accident, a balcony collapse. But it's like every crisis she averts triggers something even bigger, more catastrophic.
Right.
It's like the universe, or whatever's behind this filter, is set on a certain level of tragedy, and all of Emily's meddling just keeps raising the stakes.
Yeah. If we zoom out a bit, this speaks to a fear that really resonates in our interconnected world, right?
Yeah.
The idea that even our best intentions can have massive unforeseen consequences. What starts as one person trying to avoid tragedy turns into a citywide disaster. That last image in your sources of Emily's reflection against a burning city really captures that loss of control.
Wow. So we're left wondering, was Emily a hero trying to save her friends? Or did she become the cause of this whole disaster by trying to defy this digital prediction?
Right.
Even her best friend starts to feel this, calling Emily with this growing sense of unease about all the freak accidents in the news. It's that classic ripple effect gone terribly wrong.
It really flips our expectations.
Yeah.
The initial horror is knowing how you're going to die.
Right.
But then it morphs into this far deeper horror. Maybe trying to escape that fate just leads to the suffering of countless others. Emily's journey from a skeptical teenager to someone at the center of a massive catastrophe is a really grim look at the butterfly effect.
And that ending, where she's haunted by that last image,
Yeah.
it suggests that it's a permanent burden. Even if she managed to dodge that initial car crash, she's now living with the knowledge that she might have unleashed something far worse.
It makes you think about why we're so drawn to the unknown, even through something as silly as a social media trend. What is it about knowing the future or thinking we know that can push us to such extremes?
It's chilling.
What's interesting here is how people's view of the filter changes. At first, it's just morbid fun, a viral fad. But through Emily's story, it becomes something way more sinister.
Right.
A symbol of inescapable doom. One of your sources called it a plague of despair, which is pretty fitting. People start seeking Emily out, not for help, but for a glimpse of their own death.
It's a seriously messed up thought. She tried to help, to save the people close to her, but she might have accidentally set off a chain of events that led to widespread destruction. It really makes you think about how much we crave control, especially when faced with uncertainty, and how badly that can backfire.
Exactly. It's that classic struggle between free will and fate.
Mm,
Does the filter show a fixed destiny? Or does it just highlight the dangers of trying to change the future with limited information?
right.
The story doesn't give us easy answers, which makes it even more unsettling.
Okay. Let's switch gears and dive into the second story. This one takes us from the dark side of the internet to a more fundamental nightmare.
What if reality itself just started to disappear?
Yeah.
The details you sent about this mysterious fog are really creepy.
This one moves away from individual choices and consequences
Okay.
and explores something more existential, a threat to existence itself. The fog isn't destructive in the usual sense. It doesn't kill, it just unmakes things.
Right.
It's a gradual erasure that makes us question what it means for something to exist in the first place.
The way your sources described it is so unsettling. First, there's this total silence, like all the everyday sounds we're used to just vanish.
Then you start to see things literally disintegrating. Buildings and objects blur and fade away as if they were never really there. It's a loss of everything that defines their world.
And the personal impact, like when Jess's father just disappears.
Yeah.
That shows just how terrifying and inexplicable this event is. It's not death as we know it.
Right.
There's no body, no trace. It's like he was just plucked out of reality. That leaves a different kind of emptiness, you know?
Absolutely. And the friends desperately try to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
They start noticing these really strange and disturbing things. The fog has a texture, a smell. And Ben, the science guy of the group, starts to realize it's not natural at all. He finds these weird fine threads that seem to be causing everything to unravel.
It becomes clear that the fog isn't just taking things away. It's actually unwriting them, reverting them back to a state of non-existence. That scene in the library with books fading from complete stories to scattered letters and then to nothing is such a powerful and disturbing image of this. It's like history, knowledge, everything that defines their world is being erased.
And then the horror gets even worse when Ben himself disappears into the fog.
Right.
Mia and Jess completely panic. It shows how indiscriminate this threat is. Nobody is safe from this silent erasure.
And then they find the clearing. This unnatural space where reality is thin and distorted with these monstrous shapes lurking just beyond.
Yeah.
This is where that unsettling interdimensional element comes in, the idea of a rip between realities. Your sources suggest that another dimension might be bleeding into theirs, one with completely different laws of physics, maybe even different ideas about existence.
Jess has this intuition, this chilling realization that it's not their world being destroyed, but something else seeping in.
Right.
And that leads to their desperate and ultimately tragic plan.
Yeah.
The oldest building in town, their childhood home, becomes the target. It's like they see it as the weakest link, the thinnest point between these two realities. It's a huge gamble born out of desperation.
They're putting everything on the line with this drastic, almost symbolic act.
And it seems to work. The fog goes away, the monstrous shapes vanish, that weird coppery smell disappears. It's like the world was saved from this silent annihilation.
But like you said, this victory comes at a terrible price. Ben, their friend, the one who tried to understand the science behind it all, is just gone. Not erased by the fog like the others, but completely vanished, leaving only his glasses behind.
Right. It's a powerful reminder of his absence.
It's such a hauntingly ambiguous ending.
Yeah.
Was he completely unmade like those touched by the fog, or was he trapped in that other dimension, facing those horrors alone? The silence surrounding his fate is deafening.
The story deliberately leaves that question unanswered.
Yeah.
It emphasizes the lasting trauma of their choice.
Mm.
The world might be safe, but Mia and Jess are forever marked by Ben's disappearance. It's a constant, visceral reminder of the price they paid for survival. It makes you think about what true loss really means when someone isn't just dead, but completely erased.
It's such a different kind of horror compared to the death lens, isn't it?
It is. Instead of knowing your doom, it's this silent, inexplicable unraveling of everything you know.
Yeah.
It culminates in the complete loss of someone you love with no body, no closure.
Both of these stories, even though they're so different, show how vulnerable we are to the unknown.
Mm,
The Death Lens story plays on our fears about death and how our online actions can have real-world consequences,
right.
while the Fog story forces us to confront the fragility of reality itself and the potential for unimaginable loss when we face forces we can't understand.
So as we wrap up these creepy tales you sent us, the Death Lens scenario really shows how even silly digital trends can become channels for serious fear and potentially disastrous outcomes.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder about the responsibility that comes with our increasingly powerful technologies and the information, whether it's real or not, that they give us.
Right.
Was Emily responsible for what happened to her and to her city? Or was she just a pawn in a game she didn't understand?
And the Fog story makes us face that terrifying idea of existential threats, the kind that don't just end life but wipe it out completely.
Yeah.
The friend's desperate choice shows how far we might go to protect our reality. But it also shows the scars and unanswered questions that come with such choices. What does it mean for someone to be utterly unmade, to vanish without a trace?
Right.
And what kind of void does that leave in the world for those who are left behind?
Both stories, though they're told in such different ways, tap into that primal fear of the unknown, the fear of things beyond our control. And maybe the scariest part is that they both suggest that even actions meant to protect can have unforeseen and horrific consequences. We hope exploring these stories with you has been unsettling, in a good way, of course,
Yeah.
and we hope it's given you something to really think about. What unseen fogs or dangerous lenses might be lurking in our world, just beyond our perception.
Right.
Join us next time for more chilling journeys here on the Walking Dread podcast. Rate and follow for more terrifying tales.